the granddaddy of them all, big man, the Rose Bowl, 5 p.m. Eastern kick on ESPN from Pasadena, California. Pac-12 team, the Washington Huskies. Big Ten team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. 57 the total, big man. 6.5 the Buckeyes are laying here. What, this is a matchup of the conference champions here, the Big Ten champion, Pac-12 championship, Rose Bowl getting, it's like the old days. They're not missing out on anything. But either way, Buckeyes laying 6.5, 57 the total, big man.
Yeah, and it's Urban Meyer's last game, obviously. You know, Dwayne Haskins going to be on his way out as well. Bose has obviously been long gone. So, yeah, I mean, this is a final game for a lot of players on Ohio State, plus the coach. You'd have to expect they're going to want to send Haskins out on a high note. But you look at this defense for the Washington Huskies. I mean, only 3 teams allowed fewer offensive touchdowns. This defense was really unreal all year. I wonder, though, if we put Washington State on a neutral field with no weather issues, or at Pullman with no weather issues, do they win that game? Felt like they got a pretty good luck there with that game. I also, look, to be honest, I don't want to bet on Jake Browning. I was real disappointed in the season he had. I thought he was a guy that you looked at and maybe thought was a Heisman candidate at one point early in the season, but start the season. But he really kind of tailed off. I think it takes a little bit of time for Ohio State to get through and figure this defense out. I don't love Browning against a defense that's probably faster and better than he's used to. I'm going to lean under 57 in this game. I think this game could be similar, maybe a bit higher scoring than the Auburn-Washington game was. And I could see Ohio State maybe getting to 30, but I don't know about Washington. I have this game at like 28, 20, 31, 20, something like that. I'm going to lean under.
Okay, liking the under here. This is an interesting game as far as watching the line movement. It went up to Washington, took money in the beginning. Then Urban Meyer announces his last game, and money actually came in on the Buckeyes. Now we're seeing it at 6.5 now. Dwayne Haskins, like you talked about, against the Washington pass defense, I think this is going to be a heck of a matchup to watch, and probably the primary matchup of who wins the game, and also a lot to do with your total, big man. I will say this about the Washington side. You were pointing in this direction. Not only do I think Washington is not as good of a team as Washington State, I don't think they're as good of a team as Utah. I don't think they're one of the two top teams. I think they got very lucky to win this conference. The Utah game, they got a defensive score for a lot of yards on that, and then down at the end, a questionable call to end it. Utah had the injuries at the quarterback and running back positions that helped Washington out as well. You bring up Jake Browning, betting on him. It's something I'm not interested in. I mean, Chris Peterson's a good coach. I just think Washington was the beneficiary of a lot of lucky bounces, so to speak, going against Ohio State, one of the more talented rosters in the whole country. I think outside of Alabama, you can make the argument they might be the most talented. They got a next-level quarterback that can throw it around. I look here for Ohio State to continue this trend of kind of taking advantage of the Pac-12 that's been up against it. Let's face it, last year they had a bad bowl record. This year, maybe a little bit better, but still up against it talent-wise. I'm on Ohio State -6.5. I bet them actually at -6. I would recommend them at 6.5, big man. That's the side I'm on. Anything else to add in conclusion on this one?
Yeah, no, not really. I'm going to just kind of hope that I think it takes a little bit of time for them to figure this defense out. I think they ultimately will, and I like the play there. I'm really not a big Peterson guy. I don't know how good this team is. One thing I do know is they're very good on defense, okay? Very good on defense. Offense, I don't know about, but I don't necessarily need them to be good offensively. I have the under. So I'm going to think that this is like a 31-21 type of game, something like that. I'll lean on the under.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.